and like it's not really syncing with me. Like
Mhm.
I've been playing MOBAs from like Dota 1 like
Mhm.
for like 16 years, man.
Mhm.
So I have like a very good basic fundamental of the game like ingrained in me, but not but like it's hard to explain. Like you guys made it technical, right? So I'm
Right.
trying to apply a technical portion to it, whereas it was natural before. So I'm just kind of tanking my elo a little bit, trying to apply the concepts. If that
Okay.
makes any sense.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Um,
okay. What I'm getting is that you're telling me you've been playing MOBAs for quite a while, so you're quite a veteran on this type of genre of games. And like lately the things that Zen's been posting hasn't been clicking with you because it's too technical. Is that it?
it's clicking. It makes sense. It's just
Okay.
applying it, right? Just trying to apply the knowledge is making me lose, if that makes sense. But that's not
Right.
even the issue. What I contacted you about here, let me just find the match so I can try and show you which one it was. Basically, like I had this one match where me and my Lulu popped off, but everyone else in my team was inting, and I didn't know how to take my lead and really close out the game with it, right? Like how to carry hard, and that was really like
Which
my
game was it?
issue is like, I think
9, 8,
it's
and
this one here.
6.
11 and
Oh,
6.
11,
Uh,
6. Okay.
hold on. It's a while ago. Cause
It's okay. I found it.
yeah.
Okay. Uh,
So
okay. Go on. You were saying.
yeah. So like even do you remember Paragon? Remember that game?
Isn't that like? Wasn't that like?
It was
Wasn't that game like
yeah.
cancelled?
It was canceled, but like it was for a while like one of my favorite games. I was like equivalent of master tier in that game,
Uh
right? Like
huh.
I was diamond, I was like top 400 in NA.
Uh huh.
So I've been learning League since they canceled it for a couple of years now,
Uh huh.
and now I'm starting to like really, you know, I really want to get better at League, right? So, because I
Okay.
don't think it's going anywhere.
Right. Right. Like. Okay. So let me ask you this: like, where do you want to go with League? Like, what are you looking out for this coaching session to be?
Um, well, I mean, just I don't know. I mean, mostly it may be itemization on how to deal with games like that, right? Because like if you look at the score, this Malphite just basically like kept one-shotting me, and I feel like I should have just like avoided him like the plague and tried to do some stuff everywhere, but like he was just killing our whole team, right?
Uh huh.
So
Okay.
I don't know. I just I don't know. Why don't you have a look at it
Yeah.
and let me know what you think?
I'll share my screen. So you can take a look at what I'm looking at. If this replay could just pop up. Then I'll go through it with you. Okay.
Yeah.
Usually how I begin a session is like I usually just go through the basics first, like what champions are you playing, what role are you playing, items, runes, and masteries. But I've come to realize that in terms of ADC, there's really not much to talk about. Because like I feel like for ADCs, I feel like it's really standard. Like you don't go out of the IE, Essence Reaver, or Runan's build, especially for Twitch, or sometimes you go for Bork, but that's as far as you get in terms of item difference. The only thing I realize about ADCs is that sometimes you might need QSS, sometimes you might need a Hex Drinker. Other times you could get a GA early, other times you get Bloodthirster, or sometimes you could even get a Death Dance if you want to mitigate some of that burst damage. Um, but are you playing like are you doing with the Lulu or are you playing solo in
No,
this game?
no,
Okay,
fully solo queue.
okay,
So this is something I wanted to ask somebody who knows what they're talking about. But my itemization, if you look at it, I have a long sword, three pots, and I have a big problem with Doran's blade, just
yeah,
because it like it's yeah I feel like it stalls out your lane, and well stalls out your sorry your it stalls you out. And if you do the math on it, you get more health out of the pots than you do with a Doran's blade, right? Like you only get two health, two and a half health per auto
mhm,
with Doran,
mhm,
and whereas the pots they give you 450 health,
Okay.
right? So like you can sustain longer in lane, and immediately you can start itemizing into your Bork, which Twitch with the Bork at like level 7 is really busted.
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
But
it
you can,
is.
yeah, you can let me know what you think about it. It's
So
just something I've been running for a while now, and it's been
so
working for me.
so so let's do like the math, right? Doran's Doran's blade. Oh my god, why is my pen lagging? Doran's blade gives you 60 health. Holy fuck, what the fuck? 60 health. If I'm not mistaken, 780 and 3% lifesteal, right?
I think so. That or 80 HP and 880, something similar to that. They're very close.
Let's see. I know Dorn Rings gives you 60. You know what? I'll just do the confirmation. Uh,
But yeah, it's.
okay.
I'm just trying to justify everything.
I have no idea what's going on with my PC. It's like haywiring. Um, but just what the fuck? Okay. You know what? You know what?
It's gone,
Let's
right?
just be real. Yeah, let's just say
So
that like it's 60. I'm pretty sure it's 60. I'm pretty sure.
don't worry about it. Don't worry about
More or
it.
less. Yeah, more or less. Okay. And longsword gives you longsword. Okay, there we go. Much smoother. Longsword gives you 1080, and that's it. 1080, but you get to build into other stuff. And then like 3 pots grants you like over time 450 health, right? Because each pot gives you 150. Um, that like the question you just asked is actually really good because a lot of like there's been like arguments about like lately as there's been arguments about oh wait why not just start Cull instead, like Cull is a better item, or like Cull gives you a much better early sustain compared to Doran's Blade, and since like you want to get gold from Cull, it's pretty good compared to Longsword. Um, some people have argued that the reason why you want to go Doran's Plate in some matchups is because of the 60 health or the 80 health that you get. Um, this amount of health really helps you get through some of the lanes and be more aggressive in trading. Just because you have an additional 60 health. Imagine like how to put this. Imagine that you're trading, right, and then you're poking down with Senna and Veigar. If you get chunked this hard, you have to like back up and wait for your health pots to regen, which is usually not a problem. But sometimes you might lose experience from that. Um, Another thing I realized about Doran's Blade is that this well, it doesn't apply too much on compared to your usual ADCs that get a BF sword.
It's
What I realized from 3% lifesteal is that you
it's
benefit a lot once
yeah
you get BF Blade. It starts to become more
yeah
noticeable. Yeah.
yeah,
Uh.
and that's the problem. It's like in your early lane, it's only 2 HP per second
Mhm. They're mainly getting
that
Doran's
you're
Blade.
autoing, and then that really messes up your ability to maintain your lane state. You have to make a decision. Well,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like again, it's value efficient mainly because you get so much stats from 450 gold. But of course you're gonna sell it off later, so you're technically only spending like if I'm not mistaken, you sell it back for 160, so you're technically selling it back for two like you're buying it for 290 gold, which for this amount of stats is not too bad to hold on. Longsword is good if you're building into something and like if you don't get punished. Like that's generally the gist of it. Like longsword and cull is good if you don't get punished for it. Um, but yeah, like imagine if you're against okay, so imagine if you're against some other thing like some other ADC say for well no Caitlyn can't be an example because Caitlyn has hit shots. I'm thinking of like something. Okay, let's say Sivir. Okay, kind of unorthodox. Actually, no. Let's say Varus. Yeah, Varus seems to be the best example here. You're against Varus. You have long swords. He has Doran's blade. You're gonna have much more sustain over time, but if you go on like a full on one like a 2v2 full all in, he's gonna eventually come out ahead just because he has additional
Because his
60 health.
PTA and his Qs and
Well, yeah,
passive.
PTA Q, but like let's just say like items in isolation, like just the Doran's blade and longsword.
sorry, man, you're
Am I cutting out? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, you're just really choppy. I'm not sure if it's my end or your
Okay. Am I clear to you now?
end. Yeah,
Hello?
that
Okay.
sounds better.
Alright. I think it's just on my end. But yeah, like what I was
Yeah,
saying,
this
like
is better. Just
no worries, no worries. You're good. If you go for a long term, Varus is gonna come ahead just because of the 60 HP. 380 to like 1080 to 780 is not much of a difference. Again, because you have 3 pots, you can probably like go for like a long fight, like a really long trade. Over time, you will go out slightly ahead because you can wait 450 health. Um, but Doran's Blade is if you can stand in the lane for a bit longer. Um, but it's a good question actually. Like, there's been a lot of debate recently with ADCs. Like, oh, is Cull better? Is Doran's Blade better? Could Longsword be the be the answer to all your problems? Personally, I just think like
no.
Dorn.
I just wanted to have a
Yeah, for
conversation about
sure.
it. What you think if it's not a bad idea?
It
I mean, like, yeah, maybe the extra 80 HP might help since in some matchups with the
it's
Doran's
not.
blade, right? I just
It's
also for some reason the stream is loading on my screen. I'm gonna
Let me restart. Let me
see
restart.
if
I'm pretty sure it's because I have like multiple screens on. Stop streaming. Streaming again. Okay. Can you see everything?
yes.
Okay, cool.
Here we go.
All right, cool.
All right.
Yeah, back to like this is a good discussion because again, like you want to know what's the best starting item. Usually, personally for me, I believe that Doran's items are usually good for laning phase. With certain like exceptions like Katarina, things like if you're going lethality virus like back then like they like to go for longsword with 3 pots or corrupting potion. Um, Things that give you a lot of stats with really little gold are generally worth it for your laning phase. But yeah, it's a good discussion. Do you have any other things you want to ask?
It's it's funny you said that. No, that was good. It's funny you mentioned that though. Like I played a lot of Katarina for a while, and I ended up having to lane a Garen mid lane, and I just stacked 3 Doran's blades. He couldn't hurt me. It was
Yeah,
actually pretty fun.
it's
But
like obviously like with some matchups you can stack Doran's blade or like you could just go for Doran's shield if you're against like Zoe or Annie, like things that have really long range that can poke you a lot. And Doran's blade really comes in handy. I think a lot of people like really underrate Doran's blade, the Doran's shield, just because of how much health regen it actually gives out. With Dorn's Blade, you're looking to trade more, just because again the stats. Life steal, like again, it's two per hit, but over time it gets better if you're holding onto the item.
yeah. Just my issue with it is like if you're trying to control your wave, like let's say you really don't want to push out because they'll kill you,
Mhm.
and you have Doran's blade.
Mhm.
How do you keep sustaining in lane and be able to freeze your lane if you have to keep autoing to heal up, right? But yeah, I guess it's all situational. This
Of
has
course.
just been my opening start, and I was just seeing if it's too greedy or if you think I can keep getting away with it as long as the matchup allows me to.
Again, like if you don't get punished, you can always get away with it. You could even like start like call and get away with it. That's what a lot of people have been. A lot of ADCs has been doing in the past couple of patches. Just because like they're just not interacting with the enemy ADC and they're just trying to farm, or the fact that they have longer range and they don't have to interact with the enemy ADC. For Twitch's case, it's a bit special because Twitch doesn't have decent wave clear until he gets like a bit of AD, or the fact that like he needs quite a amount of mana to actually like do wave clear because you need W, then you need E, or you need to like auto a lot of times, then E. You don't have a reliable wave clear. Hence why like a lot of people like that. Hence why Twitch doesn't appear too much in pro play anymore. Mainly because things like Caitlyn exists, Senna exists, Ashe also exists. It makes Twitch's laning phase real hard. If you put it
Yeah.
into an even matchup.
Oh, and you'll see in this matchup the nonsense that I have to put up with.
Right.
But I play champs like Twitch and Nasus and stuff like champs that are going to get harassed in lane, right? So
Right. Like the thing about like these kind of champs is like because they lack for Twitch, he doesn't really lack any like agency because sometimes you could go invisible and go mid and maybe score a kill or two. But sometimes in lane it gets really hard, especially if your team is falling behind, because there's no way for Twitch to actually like slow down the game or actually make an engage on. Unlike things with Caitlyn, you can trap, or Ash's arrow is really good. Caitlyn's Q is good for delaying the game. You're against Veigar. Was Veigar support? Okay.
Yeah, it happens a lot in this elo.
Okay. I haven't seen that one in a long while. Okay, in this point, what is your thoughts on the matchup?
I know that Senna is going to be looking to harass me and stuff like that, and like I'm just basically trying to position away from the Veigar, because I know when he gets his cage, he's gonna try and all him. So that's pretty much why I'm positioning the way I am in that lower quadrant. Just staying outside of his cage range.
Okay. Do you want me to explain just lane in isolation, meaning it's just 2v2, or do you want me to explain alongside with the
No, go ahead and play it and just tell me what I can maybe do better on here and like things
this?
like
So when you enter lane, I don't know why Lulu was late. I assume like he was jacking, wanking up or whatever.
Yeah.
This is actually fine because your jungler is pathing away from you, or like he's gonna path topside. It's good because like it puts yourself in a safe position, because it's very unlikely that you will have to go for priority in this scuttle here. It's fine if you let them push out, because again you want to just scale up and get all 3 of your abilities at level 3. Twitch, I believe like Twitch level 1 isn't as useful. Do you start Q? Oh, you start E. Okay,
no, I usually start, just because that if you get a good trade in with E, then you chunk them really bad. And
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But again, like people who have a brain, like they won't like, oh, I'll just take like Twitch's passive. I'll just take 6 stacks of Twitch's passive, and let him chunk me for free. Like they're not gonna do that. They're mainly just gonna trade with 1-2 autos, and then they're done. And then like you're just sitting there like, oh fuck, I have only 2 stacks on them. Do I really want to blow 50 mana on 2 stacks? And I'm sure like you have like situations where sometimes you're running low on mana. Did you take President of Mine? You take Triumph?
No, actually. I do. I try and saves my ass a lot, and I get biscuits. So my lane state, I usually am pretty healthy for mana.
Oh, you're going for a mana immune build, right?
No, I hate mana immune build. It delays you too much.
Okay. We'll talk a bit more on the. Oh, that's interesting. We'll talk a bit more on the items part here. This is interesting. You hit 2. I think you realized you hit 2, but you didn't realize your Lulu didn't hit 2. So you started walking up aggressively.
Yeah, that's actually exactly what happened.
Yeah, this is actually correct.
If you
correct
notice,
from
like,
you.
I'll bait.
Go on. My bad. Hello.
So because I'm running what's it called, lethal tempo. I'll usually I'll throw the poison,
the flash,
and then back off, and I'll back off and let it kick in, and then I'll re-engage, right? And they don't realize it. See, do you see it kick on, and and I positioned to go in, but she decided to not fall.
Holy fuck. This Senna, what the fuck? This is a huge misplay from the enemy team.
Yeah, I walk right into the cage though, like an idiot.
No, but it's fine, because they, like, Veigar early game doesn't deal anything to you. Like, this is okay, because look at Senna. She's the way how Senna functions is that she wants to go for 2 autos and she wants to bail out, because she just wants to get her passive off. This guy is playing like if she's a Caitlyn. She's trying to stay in the bush, trying to stack her headshots. And obviously, like, you're gonna win the long trade because you have little tempo. You have max stacks on the Senna. And the other reason why you're winning this trade is because they are trading. So they are 2v2. Their AD is trading health for your support. And this is like one of the best case scenarios, because like if you're not taking hits but your support's taking hits but their AD is taking hits, it's gonna be good for you because you're eventually gonna come out healthier. It's fine if like your support takes hits as long as you have the initiative to hit them back and not just AFK.
They're also fighting in my minion wave too.
Yeah, that too. And yeah, again, like this is like a huge blunder.
But that wasn't like that until I flashed.
Like at this point, you can just base.
Yeah, and people in this elo do this all the time, right? I don't base here because I'm really healthy and I have a decent amount of mana, and I was gonna set up a freeze and just force them to have to play up because I knew that my Tryndamere is coming bot soon because it's 4 minutes, right?
You can just tin it out and base, because if you just tin it out and base, I'm pretty sure like you have 2 kills, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could just go home and just get you could get either. So you could either get. I'm pretty sure you can get Cutlass here, right? Cutlass is 1600. No, maybe not. You could probably get like boots here.
What do I have? I have 13.
Yeah, 1300.
I would run. I can't buy boots because I got magical footwear coming in.
Oh.
So, but what I would buy is Alacrity, for that extra on hit damage, and then probably a couple more pots and a pink ward if I based right now.
Yeah, the recurve bow, right? If that's
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, not Alacrity.
Yeah.
Dota's
right. Yeah. I mean, you know, Alacrity is still here. It's just a rune. Yeah, it's right here. Legendary Alacrity.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my mindset here. Was that I was just gonna chill in lane and farm, and because I had such a good like lane pushing against me, why bother? I might as well just set a freeze up through my jungler, because you can see he's pathing bot side now, right?
Yeah, he's slowly pathing towards this side.
He's retarded though, so it doesn't really help. You can't really rely on junglers.
Yeah, that's the thing about like, especially in Go Elo, it's unlikely that you can rely on your jungler unless he's like, if he's doing really well, then only you can rely on him. But like if he's doing even or just barely hitting even, it's best to just rely on your senses.
I might have even pinged him here, so if you watch, you might see a ping come up.
But just to talk about like the double kill there, you can base here because the wave is gonna push in anyways, and if you base, you actually get like a really good item lead, and you can get like you're guaranteed to win the 2v2 in the future, always. I'm not sure how this matchup works with Twitch Lulu and Senna Veigar. I believe you will still win just because Senna and Veigar are like super hard scalers, and Twitch Lulu have like a bit of horror spike at level 3. But in like, if you're against a standard AD matchup and a standard support, it's best to base, mainly because you want to have your item lead over them. Like right now, it's nice to have 2 kills, right? But unless you spend the gold that you have, you're not really that much stronger than the enemy duo.
No, because they're actually going to come back to lane. Well, she comes back to lane with a Doran, so she's stronger than me.
Yes, exactly.
But that's why I'm playing passive here, right? Like, I'm just going to chill and farm if you want. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, I could have thrown my cast down, pushed the wave in, and then...
Oh, no, you don't have to push the wave. You can just instantly base, because of how the wave is. Look at this. You can just like, you can tin out the wave.
That looks huge. It looks like it's going to push right into my
you can tin out the wave. You can tin out the wave.
Okay.
The next wave is right here, right? And it's a cannon wave, right? It's a cannon wave, so it'll tank a bit more. You can tin out like about maybe like, no, that's going to take you too long. You can tin out here, two, and maybe this one. So like four minions, and it's going to stay. It's going to stay here. It's going to stay around here.
So how do you know the timing for that wave coming? Like, how long... like, how much time am I looking at between that cannon wave where it is now at first tower?
For mid lane, it's usually like when they're hitting here. You can tell like whether you can tell whether they're gonna hit on time or not around here. This is like this is based off like looking at multiple VODs of pro players. I always wonder like how they actually manage to make a freeze. I believe for bot lane it's about here. As long as the next wave hits around here, if the enemy wave has not entirely pushed into your turret, you can hold a freeze. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you'll see. I'm really good at holding my freeze. Actually, I really cocked.
Like the idea here is good. It's just that, again, this is like what you said, right? Like they are stronger than you just because they have another Doran's plate. Like that's it. But I actually believe you still win this 2v2 mainly because you have Lethal Temple and you have Lulu, and you actually trade much better early on against these two.
See how I see them pushing, so I'm thinning the wave out, but I'm keeping it here. You see
Yeah,
what I did?
yeah, this is really good. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Like, because you have pots, so you're okay. The only problem now is that you're just running a bit low on mana. But this is actually really good for you because
I fat fingered that W. If you're wondering.
oh, you mean, yeah, I don't. I mean, I'm pretty sure you fat fingered because I'm like, why would you do that? And the only explanation could be, okay, you fat fingered. That's fine. Like, it doesn't matter too much. This is actually really good for you because like you are really comfortable just scaling up, as Twitch, and because you already have a lead, you're even much more comfortable just like being. So you can be passive in lane because you have a lead, and you can just grow your lead slowly, and by bleeding them out because you already have a lead. Like if you're even, maybe you can't be as comfortable as you are now, but because you already have like a slight lead, you don't have to pull too much effort to get even further. Of course, like if you can catch them out, kill them a couple more times, that's great. But you don't have to overextend. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, because you don't want to throw your lead away. And this is really good for
and
you. Yeah.
See, and there's the trend there, right? So if the longer I keep the lane frozen here, the more likely they are to catch on and actually come down, right? Like especially in this elo.
Yeah. But now the wave is pushing. And like
Yeah,
after the next wave, you have to push in.
Well, and that's why I roll up here with him.
Uh
I know the poison tick didn't get.
No, I'm thinking about like I don't. What do you think about this gank?
But I try like when I'm pushing the waves here. The Rammus gank or his gank?
No, his gank. Cause
It was really late.
Yeah, it's
I didn't really even want to play with it. What I wanted to do was stack the large minion wave up so it was a little safer to push it in. That way, if anyone did gank me, I would have a large minion wave on my side, right? So I try to get slow pushes going when I know it's gonna push. I don't just try and shove that in because then I have nothing to protect me, right? And I haven't based yet, so I recognize that I'm weak right now.
Right. And the thing, like what I was thinking, like I think this gank is really poor because it's very unlikely that you're gonna get anything. Mainly because of where Lulu is positioned, and mainly because like you guys don't have like hard lockdown CC. If Veigar just cages, yeah, go on.
So I should have just kept farming my minion.
Just stack a slow wave and then just push on the next wave, and just hard push on the next wave so you can get a free base.
Oh, hold on, man.
I'm holding on.
Hold on, man. Sorry, my internet's just acting up.
No worries. Take your time.
Hello?
Yeah. Are you okay?
Yeah, I switched over to my data. I'm so quick background. I live like really rural, so I'm on basically like internet towers that are cell phone towers. So when the backs up, all my stuff lags out. So I just had to switch over to my phone data plan, but that should be fine.
Oh.
Um,
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's just it's unfortunate with my internet being crappy. Like it screws me over in games sometimes too. But I mean,
Yeah, I feel that. I honestly feel that.
yeah. Sorry. So basically you asked me how I felt about his gank, and I knew we weren't going to get anything out of it. So what I asked you, should I have just stayed and farmed those last couple minions, or
Yeah,
should
just
I have
stay in
tried to help him
farm.
and get it?
Just
Because
stay
we
in.
almost killed the Vega.
Yeah, I mean, it's again like even if you get the kill, it's like one of those chances that okay, you might get a kill, but and like out of 100 times, you're probably very unlikely to get the Veigar kill just because like and also like he has flash. Like again, if any of these players of these 5 players here are like any decent at the game, it's very unlikely that you get killed. Like sure, in the elo that you're at now, like you can cheese out a lot of kills, mainly because a lot of players don't play against Twitch that often, and like he's very obnoxious to play against once he gets a couple of kills, because you can just sneak up behind them and actually just kill them, snap their head off, or whatever. But realistically, what you really want to do is just take out the wave, push it in, get a free base. Don't even bother hitting the turret, because it's very unlikely that you get a free plating without chunking yourself or being unable to base later.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I don't know. I think we were trying to dive here. Oh, the Lulu was pinging me to dive. That's what happened there.
I don't like this dive. It's not too bad, but you gave shutdown.
Yeah, it was really awkward. She pinged me to dive, and I was like, okay, thanks for not thanking all that. But anyways, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. It's not too bad, mainly because well, you get a fast you kind of get a faster base. But it's also because you really want the base there. I would just actually like right here. I would just push this in and instantly base, because like I have. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. That would have been my reaction had she not pinged me to dive. But I think that's my fault. I listened to some random gold person that I don't play with. So.
Yeah. Honestly, like if I were to Lulu, I would just die for you. Like if I really wanted to tank for it, like to die for it, I would just tank for you. It's in the long run, it's actually again, it's not too bad. The only downside about this is that you gave a shutdown, but it's not too bad, mainly because this wave is pushing towards you, and also you deny like Senna even more farm and even like less souls to farm up. So in the long run, it's actually not the worst.
And that's what the Lulu said. She said that was good because we denied her some farm. But whatever. I disagree. I would rather have survived and based.
Yeah, that I mean the latter option is definitely the safer option and the more consistent option. But again, it's not the worst, because look at the wave. Look at this wave, right? Like she's gonna come back. Half of this next wave is gonna die, and she can't. And it's gonna push into you. So it's not the worst. It's actually pretty good, honestly. It's actually not too bad.
Actually, I started thinning it here right away, and I moved up too much. I missed position.
That's fine. That's not too bad still, because you have lifesteal. As long as they don't get to kill you, that's okay. Obviously, like it's better to not get chunked out for no reason.
No, absolutely. I was just trying to thin it because I didn't want it crashing, because then they were going to definitely hurt me under tower.
Yeah, and again, like this is actually really smart. Holy fuck! I wonder is like the main reason why people started freezing is because LS started that whole propaganda about freezing.
Dude, I've been. Remember I said I was diamond in Paragon. Like I know wave management. This comes naturally.
Okay. Yeah, because now. Oh shit. Okay. Now you just get to fuck them up. Yeah. But hold on. The game kind of froze, but I think it should load up back in a bit. I can still draw. I think the client just Yeah. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I kind of messed up this. We probably could have got one of them.
I think this is fine. I think this is fine. Because your wave is not gonna freeze anyway. But maybe not. Oh, okay, that's pretty good. Okay. What's your peak? Like, what's your
Gold something last season.
where are you trying to hit?
I want to actually enjoy like matches with players that know what they're doing. So wherever that is.
I want to say like challenger, but not really.
Well, because like that's what it was like in Paragon, right? Like people
Yeah.
knew what they were doing. Like they knew, like Zen was saying, it's a language, right? And it's not until you're playing all really high games that people don't really get it, right?
Yeah, I mean,
So
like
I'd
this.
love to hit challenger. I don't think I'm mechanically good enough to hit challenger. I fat finger a lot of shit.
You don't have to be mechanically good to hit challenger. You can like there's literally people who play like a Momu full AP Momu and hit challengers. There's people who play Ivern Tyler one that hits challenger.
Fair enough. Good point.
Yeah, right. Like you don't have to be mechanically good. Like the amount of like micro that you're doing is actually pretty good because you are cooking them a lot. Like you clearly look better like by a mile. The only problem I have with you now is the CSing department. You should have about like 80 CS about now. If you're playing this well already. I think like the whole reason they were losing CS is because of the early like the gank that the Tryndamere forced and the fight that you guys had around here earlier. That's why you're losing a bit of CS. But overall, like this lane state is actually not too bad. Like I would like to see where you're clicking or how fast you're clicking or like the rate that you're clicking.
Yeah. 300-400 APM probably.
A game?
I click a lot.
Of League?
It's APM, actions per minute.
Yeah, I know. A
300
game,
clicks a minute.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like 300-400 APM in League. That's a lot.
Dude, I used to play like I said, it's StarCraft, Warcraft, all that stuff. I'm old school gamer, right? I'm old, man.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. But yeah, like 300-400 for a game of League is a lot. Cause like I get like there's like people who hit like 250 and like okay that's not too bad, and people who are like oh 300 I'm like okay you're probably like just spamming buttons and like if you're telling me like 300-400 that's insane. Also this is mainly just the lack of information of where Ramus is.
Oh I know, and I pinged her off of it. She wanted to dive again.
Holy
and
fuck, your Lulu is out for blood.
I know, dude.
Is there any specific points of the fight you wanted me to look at?
No. So like I wasn't even worried about the laning phase in this one. It was mostly it's mostly like after laning phase where I start dying really. But I'm trying to deal with the rest of their team because their Malphite's popping off. Like everyone else on their team is killing everybody. Like our lane's the only lane that's winning, and I want to know how to take this lead that I have and actually win the game with it. I throw it really hard. I take my lead and I basically run it into the Malphite.
So I remember watching like one of a coaching video, but I forgot who it was. Like I think it was like from LS. I remember watching one Gangplank video where like you know how Gangplank is a champion that needs to like get his levels, eventually like get enough items to just blow up with a single barrel. But like early game he's like complete dog shit.
Yeah, he scales.
Yeah, right. Like kind of the same with Twitch, but you know the difference is that like, Twitch can sometimes get a cheesy kill. Like no pun intended. And like you know get some leads. If I'm not mistaken, in this kind of situation, you can try to draw pressure. Like this is already fine. Like this is pretty good. Like in any, if your team was like doing decently, this is fine. I think your team is still doing fairly well. But I'm pretty sure like the only reason why the goal lead is even right now is because most of the goal lead is onto you. Like I'm pretty sure.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It is. The rest of my team is inting right now.
And, yeah. Like this is fine for you because you're not really looking to push in the turret and get hard collapsed on because you're Twitch, right? But another way to look at it is that you can try to stack heavy waves into the turret just to draw pressure.
Yeah, right. So just get the waves rolling. But if you look at her CS here,
yeah,
take a look. She's completely out of the game. She's at 36 CS at 90, and that's because I freeze it here. Anytime they try and come up, they can't.
Yeah, they can't. So they can't play the game. Yeah, exactly. Like it's completely over. Yeah, like so like this is
like,
this is
one. She should.
She should.
She should have roamed mid, is what she should have done.
Yeah, but it's unorthodox. It's like even if she roams mid, like if your mid laner just is an actual decent human being, he would just play safe, and you would just ping him off. But I know, like in Go Elo, like you know, sometimes if pings are deaf, people are deaf to pings. So I understand. Like this is actually fine for you. You're actually really happy right now. Like you're just sitting there, you're just chilling. So yeah, you don't have to really do anything. Like the moment the freeze breaks, like okay, you can slow push, and then you can just like base and get a free. Like you can just get a free base, get some items. You could potentially roam to like other lanes, mainly because of how insanely ahead you are right now. Like it's
just watch, just as you say that, just watch.
push this. Okay.
It was really close.
Shouldn't really be that close, realistically, because you have Lulu. Yikes. Okay, you're fine. Like, oh my goodness, you have an IE. I would just wait. You could buy IE, right? Yeah, just get. Wait, no, could you not?
Sorry, 1 second. My stuff's lagging. 1 second.
Yeah, no problem.
Shut down.
Okay, there. Sorry about that.
It's alright. It's no worries. Yeah, like after you're getting IE, okay. you're insanely fed. Oh, okay. I want to see like what you do before I comment on this. I was gonna say like after the first turret goes down, laning phase is basically over. So there's not really too much of a reason for you to stay in lane too much. So after like this first turret goes down, you need to be looking for pressure on the map.
Yeah, I'm stealing, like I'm using the tower to steal the jungle, and then there's no pressure on the map.
This is
like
good.
you
Yeah,
said,
this is
right?
good. This is good. Okay. I believe you actually should just stay mid and take turret here. Cause like this, you're basically like just cleaning trash here.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was, and see that's what my problem is I remember like in a different MOBA, it's not League, it's not the same, but that's what you would do. You'd roam back and forth between the lanes. You'd clean up your lane, and then you come back and you put pressure in mid, and then you go back to your lane and then back.
I'm not sure.
Is that appropriate?
I'm not sure like how other MOBAs with like how the gold system works, but basically like at this point, Senna's not worth anything. Like compared to like towers and like compared to towers and other champion kills, she's really.
No, but I caught the wave. Right?
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Yes, for sure. I'm just thinking like whether it's.
Yes, I'm on par with their Malphite and their Gangplank, right?
Yeah. My thought process here is that I'm thinking whether it's better for you like right here. After you guys killed the Gangplank, should spawn. Like right here, after you guys killed the Gangplank, I'm debating whether it's worth it. It's better for you to take this turret down here.
Then to rotate.
Yes. The reason behind this is because once you take this turret down, it gives you a map advantage. Once this turret goes down, you get to control this part of the map. This is good for when you want to take dragons later on. Because once this turret is down, the next safest place for them to back off to is right here. It gives you like a huge map advantage. Obviously, like because your mid turret is down first, the advantage becomes even. But yeah, like that's my thought process. Because I feel like okay, you're going down bot, you're just getting the wave, which is not bad. Because again, farming in League is really important. But I'm thinking whether like maybe TF could have went bot. But again, that's kind of really relying on your teammates. So
they're all inting. They're all turbo inting.
They're all running it down. So I think like this is not too like this is not the worst. You know, this is not the worst play, but I believe like the other better play could be just sticking the turret in mid. But realistically, this turret is a bit too healthy. Yeah, that's the issue I have with.
And I know that like top lane, like that guy can kill me too, right? So that was another issue. Is I'm just kind of like I'm nervous about dealing with him because I'm watching him kill my team,
Mm-hmm.
and so
Right now, you should have like a shit ton of gold again. Like you have 2K, you should just base. Like sure, you can get a cheese cure here, but you ideally you just want to base. I'm pretty sure you get turret later on, right? Yeah, you do get turret here. Yeah, this is fine. Like, I guess in the long run, this is like in hindsight, this is all fine because mainly like Gangplank didn't respect Twitch. Like it didn't respect your ability to just like sneak up behind. And like you know he just kind of died again for it. But I think right now the problem you have with is Rammus and Malphite. What do you buy?
I can't deal with either. So and that was it. I was like, what should I get, right? So I start working on well, not yet at this point, but I just go my normal itemization, which was Bork into IE into Runance, right? Because that's really what makes him pop off in team fights.
Right.
Those 3 items.
Right.
So now I'm really healthy looking to team fight, but everyone on my team is pathetic.
I just wanna see like what happens in the next team fight, because I feel like this next team fight you're about to go in will really make or break the game.
Yeah, it ruins it. And I came top because I'm thinking in my head like knock the objectives down, right? Like
Right.
game, knock the objective. And then I get deleted. I kind of fat fingered this play. I didn't kite properly either. So
You kind of overstayed.
yeah, I should have kept kiting, but I just stood there because I had a good angle to be hitting both of them with my R. I thought I was going to be able to delete both of them.
Right.
But it didn't do it. So I didn't want to kite and ruin the angle. But
this is actually pretty huge for the enemy team.
Oh, I know.
Because right now, like ideally, I'm pretty sure like your next items should be either a QSS or Last Whisper, just so you can deal with the two tanks.
So that's what I ended up going for was the Last Whisper, and I went straight into the Doms, and then I started thinking I should have built Edge of Night, but I didn't get into it before the game ended. Just so that like when he goes to all in me, like if he flash ults me, it does nothing. But like I spend the next couple minutes inting again, like you'll see.
I don't agree with the Edge of Night build, the Edge of Night itemization, mainly because I feel like if it comes down to it, you should never fight when you have your flash down. Realistically, ideally, at least.
Sorry, hold on one second.
Yeah, sure.
Just lagging.
Yeah, sure. Take your time.
Alright, you there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Alright.
You doing alright?
Yeah, it's just back to my house internet, which
okay.
is...
Okay. So yeah, like going back to like the whole Edge of Night thing, like I think Edge of Night is a pretty decent item. But I think like when it comes to dealing with Malphite, having if you're like a mage or if you can itemize into like Edge of Night effectively, like you don't have to go out of your way to itemize it. I think it's good against Malphite. Mainly because you know he's just gonna RN and then your spell shoe is gonna block it. I think in this instant, unless you're forced to fight, you shouldn't be fighting if your flash is down. I'm sure you should know this. Is that Malphite's ultimate counter is by flashing away from his ult.
I know, but I have like 80 ping, so I rarely manage to flash Malph ults. I've tried, but they just always land on my head.
Huh.
That and I'm getting old, you know? That reaction
Well,
time
yeah,
just
but
doesn't let it
I'm just thinking like, well, I used to play in Korea, back like in I didn't play it in NA, but like I played it on another country aside from Korea, and I had like about 100 ping while I was playing in Korea. And the thing that I
You have
usually
to read the flash.
yeah, you had to read the flash. You had to kind of predict it, and like you had to be smart about it and be fast about it. I think in your instance, another like not a lot of people notice, or like not a lot of people do this, even if they're challenger or like even if they're high diamond, is that whenever you look for fights, you have to think about the CC that's available to the enemy team that's gonna kill you. Like in this instance, holy fuck, yeah, you should kite. You can kite and you can E. But basically what I was going with, like in this instance, you can wait until Malphite ults first. And of course, like if he's just smart, he's just not gonna ult first. But you can wait until like a major team fight. What's that?
Yeah, he holds his ult for me, and that's what I find is like the biggest problem carrying from ADC is like whoever can delete me is gonna hold their shit for me.
Yeah, that's generally how. I mean, I play Akali, and like the only way I win games is that I'm just holding my ult from for the enemy ADC.
So you're one of those people.
Oh yeah, like that's how you play the game, kinda. Like ADC is actually, like a lot of people say like, oh, ADC is such a bad road to carry on, it's such a bad road to climb. Half of those people are people that don't play ADC and don't know how to play ADC. The other half is really hard because like sometimes when they're really ahead, your team doesn't peel for you, doesn't hard peel for you, so it's really difficult to play the game. Oh boy, okay, at this stage you should just back off, like, cause oh. Did you know with Twitch that you oh shit, okay, you're dead here. Did you know with Twitch there's a trick where you could just you could Q and you instantly click B.
Hold on 1 second, just lagging like crazy again.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, you can Q and then B.
Yeah. Cause like right here, there's really no reason for you to be overextending. Actually, I'm gonna go a bit back.
I think there was a reason as to why I was there. Maybe I started getting tilted and I was losing my thought pattern.
You're losing your patience.
Yeah. Just cause like look at the scores, right?
Yeah, it means 14 to 14.
No, but like look at the scores of my team.
Oh, from here? Yeah, it's really
right? Like all that gold's on me. Like they're useless.
Yeah,
and like
you should.
But that's not the point of this, right? Like the point of this is like how do I win this match? That's the question.
You have to. So I get this a lot as well. There's a lot of players like I get so hit, but like the enemy just like picks on me and I die. But like I want to do something for my team because half my team can't even like carry themselves.
Oh my god, my stuff's lagging again. I'm sorry. Give me 1 sec.
Yeah, no problem. Take your time.
Alright, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. But the
Alright, cool.
so back to what I was saying, like in this kind of situations, like a lot of people will always be opting to look for something to do on the map. Mainly, they want to carry the fights, right? They want to be the ones to do something so their team doesn't lose them the game. Sometimes that works, but in this case where like they have a lot of things that can get onto you, like Malphite, like Rammus, Senna, kinda Gangplank because of his ult. It's better. So again, like it's better for you to just value your life a bit and just wait until your teammate, like let your teammate be baits. Like if I were you in this situation, I would just say, okay, I'm just gonna let my teammates be bait. They can do whatever they want. I don't care. But I want them to tank the hits for me first. Then I'll just start going in. Because before that, it's really hard for you to actually do anything at all. Right? You can't be like you're ADC. You can't possibly be the initiator of fights, regardless of how a hit you are, just because you're an ADC. Like if you were something like Malphite, like a top laner like Set, like Camille, maybe you can go in mainly because your kit allows you to. But if you're an AC, you kind of have to play the role of like, okay, I have to wait it out. If the enemy has any like core CCs that I have to avoid, I have to wait it out.
Yeah, I think that's the issue. Is I was just starting to get impatient with my team.
Yeah, it's
See,
understandable.
Like, these guys just hinting for no reason again.
Yeah, like at this point, I actually believe getting QSS might be better here. And not fight until you have Last Whisper. Mainly because you want to avoid the taunt from the Rammus.
Oh, okay, so QSS out of the taunt.
Yeah.
And just stay away from Mel.
I might even argue if you don't want to go for QSS, you could go for Cleanse as your summoner spell. If you look at their team, Rammus has a on-click CC. Veigar has stun. Senna has a root. So I believe going for Cleanse is actually not too bad. Here.
Oh, right. So take that instead of heal.
Yeah, instead of heal. Yeah, exactly. And then you could. Yes. Yeah, what's that?
Like what's your rule of thumb? Like 3 hard CCs and then you grab Cleanse instead of heal, or what?
No, usually, I would always take Cleanse when they have something, when they have a CC that's very easily applied. So for example, things like on click CC, like Ramses taunt. Like as long as you can hover the mouse on top of your character, I'm very willing to take Cleanse. Or things that are like Fiddlesticks, where if he's unseen and he ults on top of you, you get instantly feared. I would take Cleanse as well. Or even things that are really huge and it's very unlikely that you'll be able to dodge it. Like Varus's ult, Ash's ult, Sejuani's ult, Veigar's cage. Cleanse is not bad here. Because the only reason why you're dying is because you're getting Rammus taunted into chain CC with Senna's W and Veigar's cage.
Yeah, like I know they figured out that I'm the win condition of the team, right? Like they're all trying to kill me.
Yeah.
So
I think you could also ask, like if Lulu is doing well, you could also argue that Lulu could probably gotten you either a teens or Mikhail's. A teens for the health, but actually a teens on Lulu is actually not too good because she scales fairly well with AP, but she doesn't deal as much without any source of AP. So actually Needlessly Large Rod is not the best, not the worst item for her right now. Oh, you are bold.
Yeah, I face checked that, got screwed.
Oh, you are very bold.
I just saw the Veigar, and I was like, oh, here's a free pick, right? But then I didn't really think they were all sitting there in that, like, it's a kind of a weird spot to sit. A little bit.
So the way to approach this is that just a quick explanation. When it comes to the league, you have to keep a couple of things in mind. In this type of situation, this is just a misplay on information. And you're a bit too hasty. Like obviously, like you're tilted right now, but the reason why this happened is because you lack information and you went for it regardless. Like you know that Senna's dead, so you know it's gonna be a 4v5. But you should also know that like if you get hit by either Rammus or Malphite, you almost always die, unless you flash out. So unless you're confident that you're gonna point blank flash the Malphite out, you should in hindsight you should not be making this play.
It was just
like it looks very tempting, like oh my goodness, free kill. Flash. And if not, you die.
Yeah. Another thing too is I didn't note the dragon timer. Like I didn't consider it, and that's why they were all there, right? Because I was like, why the hell were they all sitting in that bush? And I looked at the timer, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that too. Again, like in hindsight, like you should not have fought, but like if you look before the whole fight, you had no idea where Rammus or Malphite was. Like it looks straight up from a movie where like Like he's the main character, and suddenly like the backup comes at the moment the villain arrives.
Yeah, and but I mean like that. Even if I had just considered that, like the dragon timer, like they're probably here.
Hmm.
I probably would have lived, right?
Yeah, I again, ideally you could also argue that okay, if Malphite's not on the map and Rammus is not on the map, there is potential that they are around, and it's not hard for them to get on top of me from like quite a far range because Rammus can just roll it down. Malphite could just out you from like across the wall.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. So
I'm pretty sure you guys can still win this game. Like if you don't get like hard engaged on next fight, you guys can still win this game. But I just wanted to watch like how you actually managed to get chunked out.
yeah, I entered again.
Oh no. What? Oh well, I guess it's just Veigar things, huh?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, we started to scale, right? Which basically just makes now even the support can one shot me.
Sure.
Oh
Sure.
well, whatever. I shouldn't have tried to. I think I was just upset at this point.
Yeah, I believe you are. I feel like
The
this
state of the game.
is just like one of those games.
I was trying to force little.
Yeah, you are. Like you're really not doing yourself a favor, and you are really trying to just. You're running low. You're running really thin on patience. Hence why like you're doing a lot of things that you don't have to do. That you can just wait for your teammates to do it for you anyways.
So,
Cause yeah, go on.
all right. So I here's the better question.
Mhm.
So if you back up to where I died there, what should I have been doing at that time? That's the real question. Because I was looking for picks, right? That was what was in my head. Oh, I can get this pick here, and then it's a 4v5. We can go Baron.
Okay, look at the map. Okay, this is actually really important. Look at the map. Okay, at this point, after you got a
Yep,
pick.
we have control over our side. Oh, hold on, this shit's lagging again. One sec.
No worries. Take your time.
All right, does that work?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, can you hear me?
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we're good. It's just my internet's just being really bad today.
No worries about it. Like I get it. It happens to me sometimes as well. But yeah, back to the point where I was saying. So this is really crucial. Not only for mid laners, not only for ADCs, but also like any other role that you would be playing. Look at the map right now. Okay, look at. I'm gonna try to make the map bigger so I can actually explain better
Well,
here.
I can see it though. I can see it.
Yeah.
Like we have vision control on our blue side jungle, just with where Trend is, and like our lower tri bush. But like we don't really know where anybody is
So
besides no.
so I'm gonna go back a bit further. Go to here, okay? So when you've come back to this, okay, you kill Gangplank here, right? That's fine. Gangplank's dead. You know it's gonna be a 4v5. And you just saw Malphite went topside, okay? You just saw Malphite went topside, and you know that Rammus went this side. So you have information that they're very likely to be topside, very likely, okay? At this point, because you don't have information or you don't have wards on entrances of the map, you can't actually push up past this point. You can't
Yeah,
you can't even actually like pass through this point 'cause it's very risky. They could be just here waiting for you to walk up.
yeah.
So
I can get away with it because I'm Twitch, right? But yeah, if I
yeah,
was Lucian or something like that, I can't.
yeah, and even this Twitch, like if they just land a lucky out or on you, or like if they somehow manage to predict where you are, it could be still pretty bad for you. So the way you play around this is that look at this next wave, right? You don't have to push this up first. Because ideally you can just wait for your wave to hit this wave and it will get stuck around here. That way it discourages you from walking up. This
And it's gonna auto push because it's all super minions coming.
yeah, but like at this point it's still a your inhib's not down yet. The reason why you got caught up there is not because of the Veigar, it's because the minion wave is there.
Okay.
Like here, like you clear this wave, okay, but there's no intent for it, there's no purpose of it, right?
I think generally my intent is to get the lanes pushed out so we get vision over the lanes, right? And then it's a bit safer to voyage down and get vision into our
Yeah,
choke
but like
point.
the way you want to get vision is that you already want to play off vision you already have. And for now you don't have vision near the river at all. So it's really hard to play around that. Like if you had turrets here, that's fine cuz you could play back to your turrets and you could still play a bit safer provided that they don't dive or like they can't dive,
And
right?
I am in stealth here, right? And so I scout with my stealth a lot.
And then you popped up.
But this was dumb. Yeah, because I had the Lulu with me. I don't know, I guess it was a false sense of security.
Yeah. Yeah, like this happens a lot of time where like, oh, someone's around. Pardon me. Yeah, it's like, oh, someone's around me. Like I should be safe, but like, look at the vision on the map. No one is appearing on the map. No one is here on the map. It's really dangerous. The fact that you're not instantly dead from here.
Oh, I am. They collapsed on me here.
Here, let's see what the enemy pings. You kill Gangplank. You push up. I'm gonna play it from the enemy's perspective. So I'm gonna see like what they're doing with their pings. Like okay, they let you push, they let you do whatever, and then you're gone. He goes in to defend. You base. You go back to mid. You go invisible here, and Aaron just comes to collapse. This is kind of your fault because Veigar just kind of scaled up, and I guess like Senna also scaled up.
Bad crits on my end. Bad timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should never have done that. So.
I
think I was just trying to force something. I think I was trying to force a play, right? I figured if I get a pick, then we'd be able to do something.
Yeah.
Like no one else was doing anything.
In your case, because you are the strongest, you have to sadly be a bit more cautious. Because if you die, your team dies. That's generally the gist of it. Sadly, it's kind of sad how that's how ADC works, but if like again like if you want to go to a elo where people would know how to play the game, like kind of above D1 maybe, like anywhere lower than D1, people are still pretty doo-doo about the game. D1 is like where people starts to understand how the game works as a whole instead of just their lane. But yeah, like I feel like after this part here, you just kind of got impatient and you just went into every fight you could have.
So is there something I could have been doing else wise on the map? Like what should I just stayed in my lane and keep pushing and then back off when I know they're coming?
I think it's actually fine for you to not do anything until the enemy says I want to do something.
Okay.
Cause at this point, right? Like in this game in particular, what can you possibly do that won't get you killed?
Nothing. Everyone on their team besides their Senna can kill me.
Yeah, exactly. So what you really want to do is that you want to wait for your teammates to be bait. You could just hover around your teammates and be like, hey, walk forward.
Yeah, ping them.
Hey, just go in front and see what happens. And like if they get engaged, then okay, then you get a free pick. And again, like just flash the Malphite. Like that's the only counterplay you have here. And of course get QSS for Rammus. if he gets into your range. Because where Twitch excels in is when everyone else is fighting, you pop up out of nowhere and they get like a second delay to notice you, and then you're already cleaning up the fight. Right? Makes sense?
You literally bugged out there.
Oh, what I was saying, like, I'm sure you've played Twitch long enough to know, like, Twitch doesn't need like a long time to actually pop off in fights, like maybe 1 or 2 seconds.
Yeah, lethal tempo has to kick in, and then everyone dies.
Yeah, and the way that works is that, okay, ask your teammates to start fights first, or like, you know, be safe until your teammates start something, and then you sneak in from behind, like, or from a good angle, and then you just start blasting. And so anyways, I started blasting.
Yeah, pretty much. But I think I do that at some point, and I'm pretty sure the Malphite just held his ult and deletes me.
I mean, I believe, like, in this whole game, the only time where like he landed his ult on you were the times that you were in front of him. There was no instance where like he had to walk towards you. Like the one in this area here, you basically just walked up to here with no information. I can't. Well, no.
Yeah, I deserve that.
Yeah, you
I
deserve that.
that.
I was trying to sugarcoat it, but I'm like, yeah, you kind of messed up with no information here.
I believe me, I deserve that one. I know that one.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see how this closes out. Because I forget. I've had a few matches since then. I'm pretty sure I was just like raging that my train just ended.
Yeah. I mean.
Oh yeah.
Game's over. You died, and then you lose.
Yeah. Bad. I think immediately kicked into my head is to push the lane out since they're getting Baron, but I don't know. I think I was just done at that point.
One.
But yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Go on.
So when I started falling off there, like, what should my train of thought have been to try and win the match in it from behind like that with my team behind like that?
When you're behind, it's always best to not force things. Like, surprisingly, right? Because like, oh, when you're behind, your instant thought should be, I have to do something, because if I don't, I'm gonna lose the game. But one of the coaches that I've worked with, he's the coach for like, um, he's coached for like several international teams. If you can check him out, like he was on Fabnache. He was on, oh god, I can't remember. He was like one of the Singaporean teams. He was mostly on Asian teams. He told me that the way, like, it's one way to think, like, oh, if you're behind, you have to do something, to not be behind. But if you look at it from another perspective, which is, okay, if you're behind and the enemy is ahead, what do you think the enemy is thinking?
To do something.
To do something, right? Okay. So why when you are behind, why do you have to do something when the enemy is already thinking to do something, and you can just play off that?
Well, I figured they'd just go and get Baron and then push in.
Yeah, but
right?
when they
And
go
then
Baron, they have to tank. They have to start the Baron, right? They have to
Right.
start something, and
So
that's your
moving in as a team.
yeah. You can move in as a team. The only time this would fuck you up is that if you don't have Scry or the blue trinket,
Right. Okay.
right? Like, you don't have to initiate. You don't have to force things when you're behind. In fact, it's like, again, ever since like I've heard from that, like, I imagine, okay, why do I have to do something when the enemy has to do something to end the game? And the chances of them fucking up is much better than the chances of me fucking up when I'm behind. Because if I fuck up, I'm already behind anyways. But if they fuck up, it's really huge for me because I get shutdown go.
That's true.
Yeah,
that makes me.
yeah,
Right.
that's one
Yeah,
way.
because I was edge of night away from probably being able to deal with the Malphite.
Yeah, but you're still not gonna be able to
So.
to escape from the taunt, the stun, the root, the gangplank ult.
True. This is true.
Yeah.
Um. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's one way to think of it. Because again, like, if you're behind, the only way you can get even further behind is that you fuck up. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
If you don't force things, it's hard for you to get. It's hard for you to, like, if you don't force things and just play things out passively and wait until the enemy like engages on you, it's harder to fuck up because like they have to be the ones that say, "Hey, I want to do something." I know. Like, this is a very reverse way of thinking about League, or like on how to win games in League. But if
But
you think about
it
it,
works, right?
yeah, it makes sense.
Even in my laning phase, like you saw what happened to the Senna. I was playing passive because I had to respect the cage
Yeah,
and the root,
yeah,
right? And then they messed up and they died for it, right? And that's
yeah.
why I snowballed.
It's
Um,
actually really surprising how League is more like, okay, just play it well and don't do anything flashy, instead of saying, oh hey, I always have to do something in League. It's actually really ironic how that's how League works. Because
yeah, like
you've been, I'm pretty sure, like if you played enough MOBAs, you've been told that, oh, you have to be, you know, be the one to engage, or you have to be the one in the driver's seat to win the game. But
well, I've always like even in Paragon I was an ADC main, right?
mhm. Oh, sh-
Oh, hello.
yeah, my mic. What the fuck? Okay, I have no idea why my PC is like that. But you were saying?
So like I was an ADC main in Paragon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And same concept, right? Like basically, you basically never like everything you did revolved around you get collecting gold. Like if you didn't collect gold, you
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't probably be it. And that was kind of like the role, right? And I try to apply that concept to this because it's kind of the same idea, right? Like you should constantly be farming and be greedy, like take your junglers camps and stuff like that, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then you apply that lead, right? But the problem is it's just trying to like apply that lead is different. In Paragon, you'd be able to kite a little bit easier because it was WSAD, right? Whereas this
Mm-hmm.
is so I don't know. I just so to win that game, then what would have really been strategy? Literally just bait my teammates, wait
Yeah,
for
because
them
they're
to go.
useless. They're literally useless. Like the only thing they're good for is literally, like, maybe TF still has some use because he can hold a stun card. But aside from that, like everyone is pretty much useless.
Position well and then ult on somebody when they're going in on our uses. Okay, that I guess that makes sense. Um, yeah. Okay. Another question for you is you play the support lottery in this elo, right?
Mm-hmm.
You do with an inting support. Like, how do you handle that?
Um. Wow, that's a really good question. So
Really bad. It's really bad in this elo. Like, if they're bad and they make a bad play and I let them die, they literally just they just rage quit. Like, they just leave lane. They
so
just run roam. They're done.
so there's multiple ways to deal with this. In and outside of game. I'll start with the outside of game part. The reason why there's a tier list of ADCs is because those ADCs allowed you to be much more independent and not support reliant. If you look at the tier list, things that now that are like on the S tier are like things like Ezreal, things like Ashe, Caitlyn and Senna, and Jhin on A tier, mainly because they have wave clear and they can deal with the wave really easily without spending too much mana or spending too much resources. Um, a second way is that you have to OBG, like every time you enter a lobby, you have to look at your teammates OPGG, and if they're a support main, then you could probably go with it. But if they're autofill, it's very, like, especially like if they pick something that's really unorthodox, like, fucking brand support, Vel'Koz support, like Swain support, like those kind of shit. I would really encourage you to dodge. Um, because it's much better to dodge and just lose 3 LP and not MMR than to lose your entire brain off.
Yeah, I've noticed that like those three champs and a Zyra too to that champ selection. Those are all like really greedy supports, and
Yeah,
they're
I
always
think
out to
Zyra
still
is still
auto kill.
fine, because Zyra's actually
Okay.
is a pretty decent, like, it actually hurts a shit ton. Like I think even Pantheon is still okay. But aside from those two, like if you ever, like, mark my words, okay, if you ever see a Vel'Koz support, just instantly run. Just that's an auto lose. If you go in with that game when you have a Vel'Koz support, you deserve to lose.
Yeah,
I
but
hate
they're
Vel'Koz
so
support.
greedy. Like that's the thing. Like some of these support players, like they play like they're trying to carry the game, right, from support role
Yeah.
instead of just doing their job, right? And Like
Yeah.
I'm trying to, like I mainly play Twitch because I climb hardest with him, right? And I'm trying to
Mhm.
get out of this like terrible elo bracket, right? But
Mhm.
then I went from silver where I was like murdering everybody to people are getting a little bit better in gold,
Mhm.
but now I'm getting people in my game that are unranked, right? So they're getting placements in my matches, and they're either complete trash or they're Smurfs,
Mhm.
and they're usually Smurfs on the enemy team when they're unranked.
Mhm.
So that's fun to deal with. And then on top of that, everyone's really, really toxic. Like they just rage quit.
Mhm.
Like we had a team I think one of my last few matches I had a teamo that like left the game after like 8 minutes of inting. And he just quit.
Yeah, and again, like that just goes to that just goes to show how important it is to actually like do OPGG checks. Trust me on this one. If you do
I use
OPGG,
I use Porofessor, so I do pull everyone's stats in the
yeah,
lobby.
yeah, like either Professor, Blitz.gg, U.gg, whatever, like a stat checker, right? Just check their stats and see like if they actually main that champion. That's number one, and if they actually play that role. Cause it's like again, I get a lot of people asking me, it's like, hey, how do I actually climb? Like, how do I actually climb efficiently? And it's really not about like, okay, it's partially about skill and how good you are at the game, but because solo queue is so vast and like majority of the people are in silver and gold, not a lot of people are willing to put in effort to actually climb. A lot of people, I don't know about you, but like I've played in 3 different servers, and like every different server has like their own toxicity. But the one that's really consistent that I get a lot of people, they're like, oh, I just play rank because I played for fun, and I'm not really taking this seriously. Um, and it kicks with me because like I like why would you do that when there's drafts or something else, right? Um, so I really advise whenever you stat check someone, look at what they really play, because that's gonna be an ultimate factor whether you're likely to win the game or you're likely to lose the game.
Okay, that's a good point. So
Yeah,
just like actually start dodging because I rarely dodge, like
dodging
rarely ever.
is really good. Like if I could, okay, I would actually just make a new account and just dodge every time I see uh people who aren't taking rank games as serious as they should, as seriously as they should. I get
So
it,
if
like
if
it's a
if they
game.
have like lost streaks and stuff like
Yeah,
that,
if they have
like
lost
you
streaks,
guys are
just
advised.
dodge. Like especially like multiple lost, like 3 is still fine, 2 is still fine. But if you see like a long list of like of a losing streak, nah, nah,
Or
nah, nah, nah.
or 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 when they have like 25% win rates
Oh
and
yeah,
like
for
30
sure.
games
No,
on the
no
same channel.
way. Yeah, no way,
Yeah.
no way. And of course, when the enemy team has like the favor of the month champion, you sure dodge. Like right now, it's I always just ban Yi because I don't want to deal with that whole funnel shit. Um, but like I believe right now the flavor of the month for ADCs is Caitlyn.
Oh, I have her permabanned, man. I won't
Yeah,
even let her in my matches.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, like dodging is really good. Because again, it saves you mental, and again, I'm pretty sure you would hear this from a lot of coaches. Um, this game, again, it's partially about skill, it's partially about game sense, but majority of this game is about the mental, especially about solo queue. If your mental is weak and you easily tilt, you're very unlikely to climb.
Yeah, actually one of my last matches that I just lost, like I said, I was trying to apply some of the in lane
Hmm.
function stuff, like basically walking back and forth and trying to like tag them as they go in for CS and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I find like adding that into my rotation of how I play in lane
Hmm.
um, kind of threw me off,
Hmm.
which kind of then caused a death and then caused team to tilt, and then
Uh-huh.
I just like mute all,
Yeah.
right? But when I muted all, I muted everyone's pings too because people were pinging me. So I'm
Hmm.
just like, fuck you guys, you're gonna ping me, you're muted. And I'm
Okay.
trying to
Yeah.
not tilt, right? And I
Yeah.
just like, cause I'm on the fringe of tilting, so I just mute everybody. But then my jungler comes in for a gank, and I couldn't see his ping because I muted his pings, and I wasn't really paying attention to him because I was being harassed a lot. So I was trying to just like CS safely, right? And I think that just like I don't know.
No, I get it.
I
I
guess
get it. Cause like sometimes when you're frustrated, you tunnel vision a lot. you tunnel
Yeah,
vision
yeah,
much harder. Hence
yeah,
why like you block out a lot of things that you should be doing, like map awareness, background processing, um, APM is also a factor,
yeah.
right? Because like
Like my
if you were playing well, if you were in a healthy mindset, a lot of these things that you just told me won't matter to you.
That's true. That's true. It doesn't help too that like I generally play like right after like a 9 hour shift of work or ten
Yeah,
hour shift of work,
yeah.
and
I mean, I get
I'm
it.
like
Like, yeah,
I'm
no, I get it.
tired,
I do
right?
get it. Like, you get tired. You're probably like it. Like, and like sometimes at work, like you could have a bad day. Um,
Uh,
I've never been
yes and no.
on on a night shift, so I wouldn't know. But like, I imagine like not all days or on not all nights are as great as the others.
I try not to let work bother me, right? It's just a matter of the fact that if by the time by then when I'm at home, I've been awake for like 16 hours, right? So I'm
Right,
starting to push it. Like
right,
right now, I'm pushing 17 hours of being awake, right?
right.
So, but yeah. Okay, so like what would be like your generalization of like how I should be working on improvement right now as a Twitch main?
Um, I was gonna say like you probably shouldn't play Twitch to climb, but because you already had so much games on Twitch, anyways, it's fine. Like generally, like when people come to me for coaching and like they have like not more than 100 games on a champion, I'll just say like you probably shouldn't play this champion and you should probably change to what's on the tier list. But because you have so much games on Twitch already, I believe the best approach to climbing as Twitch and to I believe you're already pretty good when it comes to like understanding the game, because it's not like you're making any like at least when you're not tilted, like early game you're not making any too much macro errors. I do believe, however, you should be less impulsive when it comes to making decisions, and you should take things much slower. The reason being is because I believe, like at least what I'm looking from that game is that you're very um inclined to do what your teammates are trying to ask you to do, like the Lulu dive, the gank that the gang that Trinimir wanted to go for, and pings. Like I believe like if you can just take the games a bit slower and listen to your own advice or your own mental thoughts, I'm pretty sure you win more games.
So maybe I'm best to just mute all as soon as I get in the
Oh yeah,
game.
for sure. And like here's the thing, right? If you mute all, and let's say like if something wrong happens, right? Um, that's not that's not entirely your fault. Like let's say like if you mute all and then they go for a dive, and like they mess up, you can just do a VOD review and look at like, is that like really your fault? Because like sometimes you could be like just holding a freeze and like your jungler goes for a gang that like they're sitting on the turret and you're like, wait, how do I even go there? Like you're holding a freeze in your turret.
Oh yeah, they do stuff like that. Like this Elo is retarded, man. I don't even know how they got into gold.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's why
I
again, like if you want to climb, if you really want to climb, I would suggest like Twitch is. I think Twitch is not bad. I just think like as Twitch, you have to do a bit more compared to the other ADCs. Because like as Twitch, you really have to either get a hit or you're basically nothing, or you have to wait to scale until you get 4 items.
that's another reason why I play Twitch is I know he's a really strong hyper carry, and like a lot of these games, they tend to go on 30, 40 minutes,
Yeah.
right? Like they don't know how to close out games in these ones. Whereas if I play champions, like I play Kali as well,
Mhm.
and I find I can't like I'll go 8-2 in lane,
Mhm.
but I can't close the games out because I can't take objectives and my teams just run around like idiots.
Mhm.
So climbing with a Kali is really hard because you just don't have the ability to win the game by yourself with her, right?
Mhm.
So, but I guess I should. I think you're right. I think I just need to dial back. So maybe I shouldn't even bother. Like my last couple matches. Like if you just look at the stats on them, um, like I kind of inted in the last couple matches, and it was again it was like literally in lane just trying to make trades and stuff like that. Whereas like normally I'm just thinking about scaling. Like I'm just like I'm Twitch, I'm gonna scale and I'm gonna punish someone they do something stupid, right? And then now I'm like trying to apply this thing where like when they go in on last hits, try and poke them,
Mm-hmm.
but then they'll poke me back and they'll chunk me harder, or like I'll get fully engaged on by their support, and then it'll just go bad. So I don't know what's right and what's wrong. Like, should I even bothering trying to make these trades, or should I just, take any free stuff and then just chill?
Yeah. I mean, it depends, right? It depends on a multitude of things. Like, it depends on whether do you have to do it, and what's the result that you're looking for. Like, because sometimes, like, let's say, so the example that you gave was like you're holding a freeze and they're trying, or like they're trying to last it, and then you don't have any actions to do, so that you are able to poke back. Most of the time, you can just take it if you don't get punished back. But there are also times where, like, let's say you're pushed in and they're trying to do the same thing. You have to understand, you have to get information of where their jungler and mid laner are. If they are on the map that you can see them on, then sure, you can probably go into their turret and actually just poke them on the turret. Like, I
I don't.
believe,
I
yeah, go on.
try my best to keep my waves on my side of the map, just because of how vulnerable I am as
Yes.
Twitch. Um, and when people try to harass me in lane, like, you'll notice, like, I'll just throw my pot randomly, like my poison at people. I just throw it, right? And like, but I use that as a zoning thing. Like, they'll use that, like, they'll try and walk up and harass me, and I'll just put the pot into the area where they're gonna have to walk in to harass me, and then they have to make a decision: are gonna take some poison stacks
Mm-hmm.
for this trade or not, right? So I don't even bother trying to trade with them. I just want to CS.
Yeah.
And I think like, maybe for champs like Vayne, who excel in, like, you know, taking those micro trades so you can all in and kill them,
Mm-hmm.
it makes sense.
Yeah.
But like, I just don't know if that's right for Twitch to be trying to constantly chunk people down. But
If you
I
don't
don't
get
know. I just
punished,
need some
sure.
clarity.
The best
Okay.
advice, the best way to summarize what we're discussing about is a quote from, do you know who's Dopa?
Yeah. I mean, I don't watch him, but I know who he is.
Yeah, like basically, like, one of his viewers basically asked, like, should you be always to look to play aggressive or defensive, and the best answer that he gave was that you should be aggressive when you can and defensive when you should. So if you can poke them for free, sure, go ahead. But if you have to play safe, then just play safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another problem too that's been happening
Mhm.
is that, like, when I have been winning my trades,
Mhm.
my retarded support will just, like, all in for no
Right.
reason
Right.
and then die.
Right. Just ping. Use
Right.
pings. It's no, like, it's really important to use pings, and like, if you use pings and they're still not backing off, then sadly you just have to ignore them. Sadly. Um,
Yeah.
it's the way I deal with it is that I just think that they're probably just AIs that's implemented by Riot Games because their game is dying. But yeah, no, like, and for real, like, if like, let's say you ping them 6 times to back off and they're still not doing it, you really have to just ignore them because there's really nothing you can
Oh,
do about it.
I've watched a Lulu flash at somebody because I chunked the Ezreal down to like 40% HP. So she flashed him and then chased him down, and their Nautilus sat on my face when she did that, and I couldn't get away from him because he's Nautilus. Right? Like, just really dumb stuff. And then she doesn't get the kill on there, and then she gets run down by the Nautilus after he kills me. Right? Just really dumb stuff.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know how to. I guess just expect them to do dumb stuff, right? But it baffles me that, like, I almost feel like playing aggressive caused my other laner to just do dumb shit, whereas just playing safe makes more sense. I don't know. I mean,
Again,
it is what it is.
again,
Everyone's
it goes
situation.
it goes into the whole, like, be aggressive when you can be, and defensive when you should. And most of the time, like, I get this. I don't want to say, like, oh, you should probably look to play safe all the time because it would just make you play like a bitch. Um, but most of the time, it's kind of true how playing safe yields you more benefits than, playing aggressive. Again, playing aggressive is great if you can. If you can be aggressive and you don't get punished, that's good. But playing safe is fine, especially if you're playing champions like Twitch, because you scale anyways.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So I guess that works out. Just make sure I get my CS, and then eventually I come online.
yeah. Yeah, if I mean for ADCs, like it's always fine to just be passive about things because you're an ADC. You're just gonna scale.
Fair point. All right. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't really have much to ask you anymore. I think
Okay. Cool.
that's what I found.
I'll just stop the recording here because I've been recording this whole session, and I'll just upload it to YouTube and send it to you, so you can watch it again. But if you have any
Cool.
other questions, you know where to find me. Just drop a question in through my Discord, and I'll answer as quick as I can. Okay.
Absolutely,
All
man. I
right. Cool. Cool.
appreciate
Cool.
it. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. No problem. Have a good day. I'll see you around. Bye.
All right, man. Have a good one. Bye.